Hello, Internet Bass Web. Eric Garland here with another tip on how to be a professional bass player. Today's tip, which is real information and not fake, is learn how to read music. I know some of you out there on the internet webs, where we find ourselves today, use this insidious device called tab. Tab is this thing, you see it on internet websites, where it's like a bunch of lines representing the bass neck or the guitar neck, and it shows you where you would put your left hand in terms of 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, to show you where you should put your hand to produce certain notes. It is evil. It is a waste of time. The stuff on there is frequently wrong, and it goes in exactly the opposite direction of where you need to go if you want to be a professional bass player. If you want to be a pro, you need to be very familiar with the 3 types of professional notation of music. The number 1 is bass clef. It is the clef that is reserved for bass instruments, such as the bass guitar. The bass guitar and the upright bass are both notated in bass clef, and it looks a little something like this. That is the way that you're going to see in all serious bands, big bands, or studio compositions. That's how the composer is going to write out exactly what he wants the bass player to be doing when it comes to the single note lines. So you have to be familiar with bass clef, standard musical notation. The second type, which is much more common, is the lead sheet. Lead sheet looks a little something like this. So you'll see the lead sheet has the chords. It usually will have the melody of some sort, and places where there are rests, where are there repeats. It's just a map of the song. But what you're expected to know there is if you see a C7, C dominant 7, that you are going to be able to put the right bass line under that song based on the harmony that's been given. So if it's a swing, if it's blues, I don't know, if it's screamo, thrashcore. I don't think there is C7 in screamo. But anyhow, you need to be able to put the harmony that is indicated by that chord underneath the singer or the sax player, whoever. And that's how most of the charts you're going to see in a practical context, that's what they're going to give you. If you're lucky. Most of the time you're going to have to go learn stuff by ear. It's horrible. Best case scenario, you get a nice lead sheet. Now, the third type of musical notation is known as the Nashville number system, which talks about the chords in terms of 2-5-1, 3-6-2-5-1. It's talking about diatonic harmony. You need to look it up. You know, in the major, it's a lesson for another day, but the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the octave. For each one of those notes, there's a chord that is associated with it. So if it's 1 in the key of C, it's a major. And then if it's 2, it's a minor. 3, it's minor. 4, it's a major. So with standard harmony, usually most songs just follow along one of the chords in that standard diatonic harmonic pattern. So you can do shorthand, 3-6-2-5-1, 1-4-5, those kinds of progressions. Well, in Nashville, that's how they are going to notate, because most songs are not going to be chromatic explorations of Stravinsky stuff. Now, I mean, we're talking about pop songs. We're talking about singing about falling in love at Walmart and stuff like that. So you just need to know whatever key the band leader calls or the producer calls, key of F, key of B flat, key of C, that you know how to rock the number system. When he says it's 1-6-2-5 in the key of F, you know you're going to go 1 is F, 6 is D, G minor, C7 for 5. You have to just, you get your numbers in the number system, you can roll your own, you can make your part from there. You know that all songs follow that basic pattern. So, top 3, bass clef, lead sheets, Nashville number. Those are the 3 minimum entries that you should have in your arsenal. If you're talking about the advanced stuff, you need to be able to read in a variety of clefs. You definitely need to be able to read a part in treble clef. Yes, it's for flute or guitar or piano or whatever in the concert keys. But if you see a line written, you should be able to reproduce it on the bass. Or how about this trick, where you get, somebody hands you the piano part with the chords all out. Hopefully, I mean, there's some chords over the top, but you'll at least see the bass clef part for the left hand of the piano. Can you make chords out of that? I've been asked to do that. Heck, I had to audition for a salsa band one time where they handed me the part written in B flat. It was the piano part, and the recording on the tape was up a half a step. So it was actually in B major. So I didn't have time to retune my strings, so I just had to transpose in my head half a step up, reading the piano part. Friends, I don't recommend it. But that's the kind of thing you're going to get in a professional context. So if you want to be somebody that people can hire, they know that, yeah, there's this, you'll learn if you rehearse with a band for 3 months, yeah, you'll learn the tracks, but what happens when the dude comes in, the horn player or the piano player comes in with a new chart and goes, man, here's your lead sheet, here's your lead sheet. They don't want you to retire for 2 weeks to go learn this stuff by ear. You have to be able to read it down. Now, as I always say, none of this applies if you are an amateur and you just like learning your tabs and that's fine. But for those of you who want to be a pro and want to be an asset, those of you who want to solve problems and add no problems of your own, you've got to learn how to read music. Bass clef, lead sheets, Nashville numbers. So that's my tip to you today. Go and do likewise. That information is real, not fake.